All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live and welcome to another episode of the Attacking Third. It's Gus, it's Austin, and dude, it's 4 points left on the table in games that probably could have, in the case of the Cincinnati game, more than likely should have been won. Um, just just gonna jump right into it, dude. What were your thoughts on? Let's start with Cincinnati at
So
least.
here's the thing. I with the Cincinnati game when we went up 2-0, I was just surprised. I really didn't think that we were going to go up 2-0. Once we did, though, I thought because of our team, we would be able to hold that lead very comfortably. That wasn't the case. For some reason, and I'm not even sure why, because our scheme's basically the same, personnel's the same, defensively anyway. Um, we've just been struggling in keeping that defensive intensity that we usually have in games like this. Like I said, and we said it about a week or 2 weeks ago, um, or what felt, because we had the show last Monday. I I thought that we were going to lose to Cincinnati. Like once we went up to nothing, I said, "Wow, okay, we're back. Like this is it." Then we gave 2 goals up, and now I'm back to. I'm not worried. I'm trust me. I'm glad that we got a point out of Cincinnati because I didn't think we were going to get any.
Yeah,
I'm just. I'm not. I don't feel good about it. You know what I mean? I don't.
yeah,
I'm not really in a good space with the Philadelphia Union at the moment, just because watching that game in that game last night, watching that last night, it was just I felt unease. It wasn't good. We went down fast, and we came back and one tied another one. But these are points that we're leaving on the table. Yeah, we clinched the playoffs, but it wasn't in our control. We didn't do that. It was the other teams that determined that for us. Well,
yeah,
all we really didn't need to do is win.
yeah.
And yeah, and that's I mean that's a tough after yesterday especially. I'm glad we got a point. I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy the way they got the point. No, I'm just not. I don't
Yeah.
feel at ease.
Yeah, I'm definitely not happy with walking away with 2 points when, with the way both games went, you could have easily walked away with either 3 or 6. And I mean, the Charlotte game, I'm okay with. Expecting 3, staring down 0 for a large portion of that second half, and then being able to draw one. Like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
But the Cincinnati game, you had that in the bag, and you just let it get away from you. And how you pulled that off, I still don't really understand.
I
And
I don't get
and
it.
the Charlotte game, like, look, I understand, midweek match, you have LAFC coming up, but like you're in the tail end of the year. If you're playing for a top 4 finish, you need to win some games. And the 11 that you put out to start up the match against Charlotte was didn't look like you wanted to try and earn the 3 points. It looked like you wanted to try and chase. You know what I mean? And we,
what
boy, oh boy, did we chase! But I
which
mean,
I understand the I guess Jim was trying to reserve some guys because of the midweek match. But I mean, right now we have to make sure that we're in the playoffs, so we got to make sure that we can put some points on the board so we can stay up at the top.
yeah,
It just I don't know. It's a weird strategy he has right now. I don't feel at ease. I hope that we can figure it out. Maybe he's just maybe thinking too much. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on with Jim. I'm not sure what it is we need to do to fix it. But the lineup itself, like for the life of me, please somebody answer this question. Why is Bedoya still starting for the Philadelphia Union? Why? Why?
dude, I was saying the same thing to my wife. Like, I don't understand with the skill that you openly admit that Jack McGlynn has. that he's not a consistent fixture in the 11 every single
How do
match.
you not have Gastag, Bueno, Martinez, and McGlynn, or vice versa? Put McGlynn on the other side and then switch Bueno to the other side. How do you not have that mid? That is obviously your best mid that you can put out there.
Yeah,
And
it
yet,
really is.
And yet somehow that's like missed. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it. It was more than anything, just the formation in general with Charlotte was all sorts of wrong. Tons of credit to Baribo because he played okay considering the fact that he didn't score. First MLS start for the guy. Get it out of the way early so the nerves aren't there.
I was hoping he showed me a little more.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was hoping I would have seen a little bit more. And Eric, yeah, I completely agree. I'm not as upset with Wednesday as I am with the Cincinnati match.
I'm upset at both of them. I didn't care.
I'm upset about the Cincinnati match because of the fact that you let that game get away from you.
And it was against number 1 seed too.
And then I'm also upset about the Charlotte game because to start you let the game get away from you, and then you had to fight your way back in to just walk away with one, and it's just I don't know. I'm staying positive because of the fact that still getting points, clinched the playoff berth. But this is not the Philadelphia Union that you are especially over the past couple of years, used to seeing in the tail end of the season.
Which, by the way, the only reason we were
granted it's a longer season, but this is a team that usually, especially over the last 2-3 years, at the tail end of the season is where they really start to open up offensively and start putting teams away heavily.
Yeah, and I agree. And like I said, we wouldn't even be talking about the 2 points if Charlotte didn't shoot themselves in the foot with that blatant penalty call. That was just dumb football. It really was. That was just completely dumb.
I mean,
it just gave us wide open. You can't give Gostag a chance at a penalty. You just can't do that.
Yeah, Bizo could have stayed running straight towards that ball, but he took that little extra bit of a wider step to get that leg contact to draw the foul call in the box. So
that's such a defender foul in the box. You could tell. Yeah. And when I was just surprised, I don't know if you noticed, but they didn't even try and argue the call. It was so blatant that they just were like, whatever, dude.
Yeah, they were just like, it's a penalty, dude. I don't want to hear it. Eric saying, since he should have been a win, why they didn't shift to the 4-4-2 at the half is beyond me. Charlotte, I could take a draw. Either way, the fact is they should be sitting on 4 and not 2. Yeah, exactly. They should have been sitting on more than 2 points with the way those games had went. And
I would take him for, if we're being completely real, we should be sitting at 6, but
yeah, but things didn't go the way they should have. Yeah. Sorry, this guy's getting all up in my wire, so I have to try and contain him while we're going here.
Is he new? Who's that?
Yes, this I actually I named him after my dad. His name is Bernie.
I was gonna say if his name ain't Brujito, I don't want
to. Him and this one. Hang on. So sorry.
They better have their union gear.
And here's the other one. This is the girl of the pair. It's a brother-sister pair.
They better have their union gear ready.
Oh, dude, it's only a matter of time. They can't fit into anything just yet.
But Pat,
and also the Petco around me would rather sell Mets and Yankees gear than they would Union gear. So that's kind of a violation.
Who called this guy in?
This other P-cat.
Hey, look, man. We were talking about weird fixtures in the starting 11. Here's our weird fixture right here.
There you go. Our starting 3. Here comes Pat. Pat's the Bedoya of our group.
Yes, I am. Old and worthless.
Just as old, too.
Yes, I am.
Take this in whatever context you want. About good enough for 25 to 30 minutes every time.
Then work. Other things. No,
you name it.
Yes, pretty much. I pretty much nailed it all down. But I had to chime in here real fast because what I saw on first of all yesterday. I don't know about you guys, and I know we kind of talked about this yesterday in our group chat. To me, does this look like they're flat offensively? Offensively, I look like they're flat.
I think it's more just they just aren't. I don't even know what the word would be. It just
We weren't flat against Cincy.
No, but
we're just not playing a complete game. We're playing one half of a game.
We're just, you know what it is. We're just not consistent with the play, and I don't understand why, because our lineups aren't really changing that bad, right? We're having a couple moves here and there. We're missing Elliott.
yeah, but even Saturday,
Lowe's doing his, I guess, his best. And sometimes it just doesn't work. It's inconsistent, is what it is.
yeah, but see, Saturday to me, even since the whole game, had you spotted, like they were every pass you were trying to make, they were intercepted. It just somehow, some way, you found the back of the net in that first half. You played with all this energy.
Yeah, that's like every MLS game ever.
Yeah, but then like in the second half, it's become a problem where they take their foot off the gas pedal and there's no adjustment. There's no adjustment from Jim Curran. It baffles my mind, and there's really no excuse for Saturday. Even like so, me and Miguel were talking about it, like they didn't have their star player. So what's the excuse? You know, we spoke about this last Monday where they're very explosive. With what's his name? He has 13 goals, 11 assists. They didn't have a playmaker, and yet they tied things up. You had Cincy on the ropes, and then you fell apart.
I mean,
and then
since he still had a playmaker, just not the one at the level of Acosta. They still had baskets.
Yes.
So that definitely did keep them in a decent spot. It's just the fact that I feel like the team overall just fell flat in the second half of that match.
Right, and again, also I'll go back to what you kind of pointed out. Maybe this was a teacher versus student thing, and maybe Patrick Noonan had Jim figured out. So knows what he likes to do in the first half.
I don't think this was a teacher versus student type of deal. Although I do see that you like to bring that up quite a lot.
Yeah, because look at the story. I mean, the guy was on his coaching tree 2 years ago, and then you guys mentioned.
I don't think. And when it comes, to comparing, I mean, Jim Curran is just a better coach.
I hear that, but literally, this guy took this team from worst to first in 2 years.
They've been playing really well.
And I don't know because if it's
the Union have made the postseason 6 years in a row. I mean, I'm saying like when it comes to actually comparing, I still think Jim's better. Jim's just, for some reason, I think he's getting in his own way right now, and that's really all it is. If he puts out a right lineup with how he coaches, we're gonna be okay. But again, you give me Bedoya. And I'm not saying that this is the reason that we're not playing as well as we are. You give me Bedoya for 20 to 30 minutes in the second half, I'm all for that. And that's only if people get tired.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, here goes one from Eric. He says this team is beyond frustrating. Switching formations, selfies. The issue solidifies the second half tired legs. And the people that argue is the parking of the bus. It's the neutral formation.
Or natural formation. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's defensively to start the year. We were pretty good. We were pretty solid. But then you've had games where Glesnes isn't showing up when they make like a dumb play and then the other team scores. Lowe was doing great. It was even defending and had a mind of attack every time. You've seen that diminish a little bit. We have Eric again here saying Jim and the team have been below par this year. This team is simply frustrated. The season is exhausting, and he's right. I mean, I get what he's saying. There's a lot of good parts of the team. There's a lot of opportunities that we have, but then there's some frustrating parts because we know how they can play, we know what they can do, and they just sometimes don't do it. And then it goes back to the consistency, right? How come we're able to be so good defensively some days and then just completely just give up the next game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And so
it's super frustrating to watch.
right, and that's like I said, Saturday, and plus Saturday was a lot of calls. I mean, I don't know who the official was, but my man had if he was ready to play, he was ready to play some Uno because my man had some yellows and reds coming up all over the place. So all he was missing was some green and blue. But yeah, you're right, Austin. My man was
It was
really
good.
like,
It was really good. That was a good one.
yeah, because I'm telling you, my
Go
man
ahead,
was
Jimmy.
like every 3 seconds I just saw this and this and this. I was just waiting for the draw 4 to come out. So
Don't encourage him.
so
He did double yellow some people. I guess that would count.
yes, he did. He did. He was hitting some draw 2s. So but like I said, the frustrating part though is this team like you played really well last year. There's something the part of the game like you say, Gus, you said it best. I think Jim Curtin is getting in the way of himself.
Yeah, I feel like he's getting in his own way, which is odd because you haven't really seen that from him in years past.
Yes, Muffler Mike, we should bust up there.
Hopefully
And
you can
by the
actually do
way,
that in soccer.
speaking of my man Muffler Mike, we are so Saturday will be Gus's first time covering the game. So if anyone's going down to the game, go check him out. He'll be down there. He'll get to hang out with all the rest of the press box guys like that's not knows Punk, Jose Nunez, and the rest of those guys. He got to see them. And by the way, the following days, what I'm trying to get to is the PLL lacrosse championship here in Philadelphia, and Muffler Mike will be breaking that down as well. But yeah, like I said, a lot of good things. Some good things, some bad things. The only good thing I've seen in the past 2 games is the Union clinched. And yesterday,
But like I said, like, even that was frustrating because all we had to do was win. Yet we clinched because other teams lost. So it wasn't even we couldn't even do that against Charlotte,
right back.
who's fighting to get into the playoffs.
Yep.
Right? So I get what Eric is saying. It is frustrating, especially right now. I think we're okay as long as we as long as the bug passes through Subaru Park. I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, and like Pat was saying, this Sunday at 3 p.m. is the PLL championship game at Subaru Park. I totally forgot to put the graphic up from what Muffler Mike had sent us. But if if you're a fan of lacrosse and you want to be able to see something else going on down at Subaru Park, I know they've done a few things there. They've done a few other soccer matches. Obviously, as Pat said, Union 2 played there last weekend.
They had a couple of watch parties there too.
Yeah, there's a lot of really fun stuff that always goes on down at Subaru Park. Make sure you check out what they have going on down there. And like I said, if you're a fan of lacrosse, get out there for the championship.
Last year I went to a playoff game and we had a Philadelphia Freeway concert going on. You never know.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one.
Awesome.
There was a I forget what his name was, but there was a DJ spinning some stuff when I was there for the Red Bull match on the 3rd. It was really fun time. There's always some sort of fun stuff happening down on the pavilion outside of the stadium before everything that goes on out there. So
truth.
Get yourself down there if you haven't before. It's always a fun time.
Yeah. So
man, I thought we got rid of him.
Monique's been trying that for years, guys. But I mean, the one solid you can take out of this
just gotta lock that sleeper hold just a little bit tighter.
Yes. No, don't even joke because she knows how to do it.
Yeah, she just has just go up by the ear, dude.
For sure. Well, so one thing you can take solid out of this is that Dan Gazog is now leading the league in penalty kicks. So my man is
didn't he with the Cincinnati match, I believe, become the MLS all-time leader in PKs converted in a season?
He might have. But yeah,
he's I believe he's about 17 for 17.
Yeah, he's lights out. But let me ask you. So kind of convert into last night's game. So are you guys worried? Like, it didn't look like they picked up any kind of momentum until Julian Peraza got on the field.
I'm not too worried about momentum because soccer is not hugely reliant on momentum. Like let's say basketball, right? It helps, but we're not hugely reliant on it. So I'm not really worried about momentum. I'm more worried about how we scheme different matches and how well we go out and execute. Right, that's what I'm worried about. The momentum itself that comes with everything else, but right now I just want to see. Honestly, I just want to see a good lineup out there.
Well, so what did you guys take away from last night's game? It looked like to me that Jim Curtin was trying some new things out. I guess some testing some things out for maybe the playoffs. I don't know, but it looks like to me without Carranza, this team's in big trouble.
Carranza did play, and even with him there, we couldn't give him the ball. And
yeah, but he didn't come in until late in the game, till like at least half hour late. I mean,
but again, he was resting for a reason. He was probably going to play against LAFC.
Right.
So I understand why he sat. Now to start Donovan and Baribo, he's going to be good. I believe. I wish I had seen more from him. However, there was some opportunities that he just completely whiffed, and I'm jotting that down to chemistry, right? He probably doesn't have that chemistry with Bueno because that pass from Bueno was right on the money, dude. He should have just smacked that in. He just didn't get it. Like, he didn't get there, right? So he like stopped a half a step back and he let the ball go through. So things like that I jot down to chemistry. I think he just needs to play with them a little bit more, get used to it. I think he'll be fine by the time that Carranza leaves, because I believe that Carranza is not going to be wearing a Philadelphia uniform very long. By the time that Carranza leaves, I think that if we can keep him, we will, and he's going to be a nice plug-in.
I mean, like I said, he's got a great offensive game, and like everything before that, Bedoya had a wide open look, and he muffed that one. I mean, bad.
I honestly don't even want to talk about that.
I'm pretty sure he should have played.
My God, dude! Anybody else? And he was the reason we gave up that goal in the first place. That second one.
Yeah, sorry, Eric, but my man whiffed that one. But let me ask you. So the kid they brought in from Australia so far, and like I said, I have a bad time because I want to butcher his name. What do you guys take from yesterday's game? He pretty much got a good 60 minutes of play. I don't know what to make of him so far.
Who, Baribo?
Baribo. What did you guys make of?
Wasn't he Austrian?
Yeah, he played. He was playing in Austria, not Australia. But yeah,
different parts of the map, Pat. I mean, remind me to send you a map because we're like different continents.
Vastly different parts.
We're like
Today, I mean,
what did you take from Baribo?
I said I wish I would have seen more. Honestly.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I feel like he definitely did do well for the time that he was allotted. It's a shame it had to be in a game where it seemed like you started to falter a good bit in the second half and had to, chase back. But I mean, seeing the second that first goal was scored, Curtin go like, okay, this wasn't the right idea, and pull Donovan and Baribo and put in Carranza and Ua. I immediately yelled at my TV. I was like, should have did this from the first place. Like I was just. By the time the second, my wife would vehemently agree, but she's in the room right now because the kitten's right in there. She was sitting there with me, and I was just like, I don't get this. Like, this is making me upset. And then like I messaged you guys, and I was like, this got me aggravated, dude. Like, because like I was genuinely upset with like how that first goal came about. The mistake by Bedoya there in the box after a really solid tackle in there by Damian Lowe to block.
All he had to do was just get rid of the ball, and he didn't. He got tripped over it like an old man. Sit him down.
Not only that, you're also playing on turf, so the ball runs kind of differently. So that could have played a factor into how that mistake was
Yeah,
made.
he
But
doesn't have
either
the
way,
balance of a young man anymore.
yeah, that's very true. Curtin loves to react late. Cincy and Charlotte alone show that.
Sometimes he does that. You know what it is though. Like before in the last couple of years, he hasn't had the need to react late because we were like beating the hell out of these teams, right? We were literally beating
Yeah.
the hell out of them. So there was no reason to react late. I think he got a little too comfortable. Maybe. Listen, this is just me talking shit right now. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is the reason. Maybe he got a little too comfortable with his lineups and scoring and from years past that he feels like he can just coast through it again. That's not the case this year, dude. Teams are better. There's better players, better chemistry. Since Cincinnati alone shows you that it's a different league right now than it was last year. So if that is in fact the case, he needs to literally get out of his own way and just do what he does.
Yeah, I mean there was a point during the match that they showed like the live standings updates, and we were about to be looking down the barrel of sitting in like 6th place or something like that when we were down 2-0. So I mean, like, yeah, cool, you're not in 6th place. Way to go.
We shouldn't even be worried
you left 4 points on the board coming into LAFC on Saturday night. Like, wow.
We shouldn't even be worrying about not being thank God we're not in 6th place.
Yeah.
We should comfortably have the 3rd spot and we don't. And again, that just goes to show that
I mean,
what Eric said earlier in the show, it's super frustrating because we know they can do it. That's the part that it's frustrating. We know they can do it, yet we don't. And again, I'm not sure if it's the amount of games that we've played this year. I'm not sure if it's Jim's scheme or he owes somebody a favor. That's why he's having these lineups out there. Bueno has. Let's go through it a little bit, okay? Let me just go through this with you.
Do it up, my dude.
Give me 1 second. Okay, so we both know Donovan and Bariba. They got the start. I understand why you want your players to rest. I get it. Our 2 forwards are Ua and Carranza, right?
Yep.
No argument there.
Correct.
We have Gazdag coming up right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jesus Bueno has more than earned a starting spot. So you give him one. Martinez, once again, solid defender. Pest in the middle. You're kind of enforcer. You got to give him a spot. And then you have that other spot where Bedoya is, which I think should go to Jack McGlynn. And again,
yeah, like you were saying earlier,
it's blatant to me. Like it's just it should be the case. Like there's no question behind it. And then you get in the back when you have Wagner coming in on as an LB. Then you have what would be Elliott, not Low, Glesnes, and your choice of Harriel and Bizo, depending on who you're playing, right?
Yeah.
Which I think it's pretty solid. When you give me that 11, I feel good. You give me an Ua Carranza instead of those 2 up top. You give me a Jack McGlynn instead of a Bedoya, and then you can bring Bedoya later, right? I feel comfortable with that lineup. Now, when is the last time we've seen that lineup? Exactly.
It's been a good while since we saw that lineup.
Right? So I don't understand. Like, people have been hurt, cards, fine. I get it. Why was Bedoya starting last game? Like, why wasn't one of our starting strikers starting one game? Why did you have to switch up both? Bariba could very well have been with Ua, or Carranza could have been with Donovan. Like it could have been both of them. Why would you decide to just eliminate the best offense we have to just try it out with Baribo, and which again he needs to figure it out because it's the chemistry thing with him because he was literally half a step from scoring a goal. So this is all chemistry, right?
Yes.
So
between Bueno and Maribo. So Donovan was out there. I like the kid. He might just like dip between being ready or not. I love his speed. I didn't think he was that fast, to be honest with you. When I first saw him, love his speed. I think he can finish. He just he has some growing up to do. But to have both of them just go in there at the same time, it's to me it's just like super risky. And where we are in the season, there's no reason to be that risky. Like none at all. There's none whatsoever.
So, Gus, let me ask you: do you feel like, and Eric says, current can't adjust? That's why, Gus. So, let me ask you: so, do
I
you
don't think.
feel like?
Hold on, before you go. I don't think it's that he can adjust. He doesn't like to. I think he feels like his scheme or the way that he plans out his games. I think he thinks that they're enough to get there. Whether they're frustrating or not, it doesn't matter unless you get the W, right? So
Correct.
if you get in the W, fine, but you're not. Now you haven't for the past 2 games, and it was and one of them in a very different fashion. One of them you were up by 2, the other one you were down by 2, and you still were able to tie. That should tell you right there the consistency of this team is just not there, because it doesn't happen. You were up 2-0 against the number 1 team in the league, and then you drop 2 against the number what are they, 9th,
12.
12th
12th now,
in the
yeah.
league. Like that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all.
So that's why I want to lead in. It's almost like the perfect Philly factor, right? It's you play up to your competition and then you play lower down than your competition. It's the typical Philly attitude, if you will. It's a typical Philly way. My thing to you guys. So I heard you talking about this game and the setup and the lineup and all those other things. Do you feel like that this is like Jim Curtin's going to say, well, no, we're not going to move no higher than 4 seed. Let me try some new things out and see what works for the playoffs. And let's give Kronza time to rest while we can.
I don't think we're comfortable enough.
This is a lower seed team. We should be able to take care of business. I don't think he was looking for that result he got early, and I can't. I heard, I forget, one of the beat reporters is saying that you got to be careful with Charlotte's turf. That could play an X factor, and it looked like Glasnost did have an issue with the turf. But other than that, I mean, Lowe looked very, very solid on defense. I think the offense really needs help. I mean, like I said, to me, without Carranza, I don't think there's a plan B as a scorer. Wagner plays that nice setup role in the 2-piece part, but other than that, I mean, where's your?
I don't think we're comfortable enough to say, oh well, let me just try this to see if it works in the playoffs. I don't think we're comfortable. We're that comfortable. We're like Eric's just saying right now. You just took the words out of my mouth. The 2 seed is very, very up for grabs. And as a Philadelphia Union fan, you should be wanting the playoffs to go through Subaru Park as much as you can, because that's where you win, bro. Like that's where you win. So why wouldn't you want to go through Subaru Park? It's an easy equation. You just have to execute it. That's all. You won these points right now. And I don't think that's true, Pat. I don't think that he wants to experiment. I think he really just wanted to give some guys some rest. He just did it the wrong way. And instead of just having at least, one of them, he just said, well, let's just do both of them right now, which to me was just a bad decision. Maybe, but Ivo has a better game with somebody that's number 1, right? From the get-go. Maybe Donovan has a better game because he doesn't feel that much pressure playing with somebody that's usually there.
But and I want to give one, because Austin said this too in our chat. Like, where was Jack McGlynn? Like, again, we said it's not experience, but they say give these guys rest. But in the back of my mind, like you said, you want that 2 seed just as bad. Like you said, you want things to run through Super Park. You know what I mean? It's a tough place to play.
Well, that doesn't make any sense, because you want to give people rest. You don't rest the oldest guy in your team that you think he's so important to you, and you don't rest him. What's wrong with you?
It
I mean,
just like
I
yeah,
mentioned it
Austin.
while watching the match, along with like messaging with you guys near the tail end. I messaged a buddy of mine and said, waiting until the 65th to sub off Bedoya should be a crime, and I stand by that, and I will consistently stand by that. Now, like this guy, once that mistake was made, that should have been the sign.
He wasn't the only one making mistakes. So he's the one
No,
that made the
yeah,
mistake
but
for the goals. But like, look at Biso didn't have a great game, and then he wasn't subbed out. Right, Biso
I
was
mean,
giving up balls left and right, and in the box, 4 goal chances. Listen,
Yeah.
the only reason they didn't score 4 goals on us is because
They stink.
Blake stopped a couple, and they just like completely whiffed the other 2.
Yeah.
And that they all came from Biso's side of the ball, where he just gave up the ball. It's like he went 1-on-1 with somebody and then just forgot how to play soccer. Completely left his mind. It was just gone.
Yeah.
That can't happen. Like you want to come into the playoffs with that? Like, dude,
Yes.
we can start Harriel if we want to. Like, yeah, we have more success with you with the team that we have. We can start Harriel if that's really necessary. So.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Like we can't give these teams opportunities, because a better team like LA, a better team like Cincinnati, a better like those guys, like they're going to capitalize on that, and they're going to score. I understand that Blake is really good and everything, but that doesn't matter when you're looking at a 2-on-1 against a goalie. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't matter. And
Well,
that comes from mistakes.
Yeah, and like I said, Gus, it's like I said, they're to your point. They are lucky Charlotte is not a good team. They're lucky. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, like you said, there was plenty of opportunity for Charlotte to take advantage of, and they completely missed it and messed up. Where, like you said, if that was anybody else, the LAFCs, the St. Louis's, the Cincinnati's of the world, they're going to make money on that. That's banking all day. But like you said, you need somebody to step up. And to me, there is no plan B. Yeah, you sometimes get contributions from guys like Martinez and Abena, whatever, and Wagner's, and you get some help from some other guys. Yes, you do. But when it comes to brass tallers, you only have one playmaker to me, and that's it. And like I said, Gazag was a scoring machine last year. He's not taking that role. He's a facilitator. He's either the assist guy. He finds people. He's really good when it comes to foul shots. I mean, I don't know if that's just him, but he is just not. He's just a different role, and it's a shame because we need him to score more. He's a scorer, and again, Ua, I need him out there. I need more of these guys. And, again, giving these guys, as a Wednesday night off, could turn around the snake bit in this team. I feel like this team is the one constantly needs to be in the mix. If not, a day break can really hurt this team. Here goes another one from Eric for you guys. You mean the team on Saturday? This is exactly why I predicted no wins this weekend. Maybe a draw at best.
I predicted a win. I would have predicted a win against Charlotte. To be honest with you, I think we should have won. I predicted I wanted a tie against Cincy, and then I got it. That wasn't the case when the game started, because once we went up 2-0, I didn't think we were going to let them back. But good teams. This is what happens when you face good teams, and I was okay with it. Charlotte won. I know Eric said that Saturdays was worse, but the Charlotte, like, they pissed me off more just because I know how much better we are. And
right, so
we weren't even able to get the best team we can out there was just bad enough. And you can rest players, but I mean, you can just sub them in a little later. You don't have to play him the 90 minutes, right? So
right.
I think, to me, he was just doing too much.
And I want to pick back. Right, and I want to ask you both. I mean, how do you feel? I mean, you guys feel like this is just a second round knockout team? I
don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about it going into the last couple games. I don't. I don't feel we look good. I think we've gotten a little bit lucky. We should have lost last night. We should have lost that game. The game was won because they made a mistake. they made a mistake. We didn't win because we scored. I mean, obviously we did because we scored, but we didn't win because of us. We won because they made a mistake. And Gastag is just ice cold killer in,
Right.
in the box. So
And it's so funny because like when I interviewed Damian Lowe this past weekend, and I said, "Hey, are you guys pumped up about facing a team like LAFC? Is that where?" He said, "No, our mind's on Charlotte. That's what's next on the schedule." I said, "Okay, your mind might be in it because I don't know about anybody else." Like I said, to me, the offense, like I said, to have what your B team in there, I mean, because the offense kind of looked flat to me. Like I said, it's bad when Bedoya is the only one who gets like a wide open shot and he completely muffs it.
the offense looks flat because Jim's system has always come from the back, right?
Right.
That's where everything comes from. Like with him, that long ball that Glesnes loves to put on, the short passes from Brujo, like that's where it comes from. So if we're not playing well back there, kind of like our whole system just kind of goes haywire a little bit. I'm not saying that there's, we can't score. I'm saying it makes it more difficult for us to. It's just we don't have that one player that can take over whenever they want because we don't have that player. We can't afford to do that. So we have to make sure that we stay pretty solid defensively so we can start playing the Philadelphia Union soccer that we were used to seeing, which we haven't seen the past 2 matches.
Well, here goes Eric. He goes, this 3-game stretch should have been no less than 6 points. Now, max, we can get 5. That's why Cincy is such a bad draw.
Honestly, that's why both of them are such a bad draw. Because honestly, you could have potentially gotten 7 if you leave 1 a draw, change 1 to a win. So, I mean, or even change both to wins. If, we held on and we battled just a bit more in the Charlotte game, you could have ended up with 7 if you draw against LA. But like Eric said, now the maximum you're looking at is 5, and the 3 that you're trying to get are probably, honestly, just as tough, if not slightly tougher than Cincinnati in LAFC. So, I mean, it's a real test right now that we're going into, and it may not be pretty, to be 100% honest.
Well, listen, we're going to get right back to this. Let's get through some of these sponsors here, and we're going to break down Union LAFC in Philly. We all know how we feel about LA teams, so we are going to get ready to talk all that. But like I said, let's take a quick hit from our sponsors, and let's get into this thing. All right, guys. Here we go.
All right, guys, it's time to talk about Sherry's Tickets. Sherry'sTickets.com is easy to use and has no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Pay less and play more with Sherry'sTickets.com. Save even more by using the exclusive promo code EOP10. That's EOP10. Do not pay hidden fees and save 10%. Why use any other ticket reseller and get those hard-to-come-by tickets to the big game? If you need a more personal touch, give them a call at 610-494-5050. That's 610-494-5050. Sherry'sTickets.com also has great theater and concert tickets that are hard to get your hands on. Remember, do not overpay and save with the best at Sherry'sTickets.com. Save 10% using the promo code EOP10. That's EOP10. You'll thank us later. Sherry'sTickets.com. All right, guys, if you're a Philly sports fan and you want to travel with your favorite team, then travel with the best. Go to phillysportstrips.com. They have self-travel packages and full travel packages available with round-trip flights from the Philadelphia airport. Packages include direct flights, 4-night stays, all-inclusive tailgate parties, lower-level group tickets. Whatever you want, you got it with phillysportstrips.com. If you want to travel to an upcoming Phillies game, make sure you check out Philly Sports Trips. And do not forget, Philly Sports Trips has all the away trips for the Eagles' upcoming 2023 season. Jump on it now, because you do not want to lose out on all these great opportunities. Go to phillysportstrips.com. All right, guys, let's talk about Cherry Law Firm. If you get hurt at work in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or affected by criminal law, you got to call David R. Cherry of the Cherry Firm. Call 610 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your rights. Again, that number is 610-565-0300. That's 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your right. All right, guys, when you're staying local and you want to watch a great game or just hang out with some great people, make sure to go to Dolan's Bar at 24 East Sellers Avenue at Ridley Park. Right off of I-95, south of Philadelphia Airport, Dolan's Bar is the place to be. Great music, great times, memorabilia giveaways, great drinks, and even better food. You never know when a former Philly sports icon walks through the door. You got to go to Dolan's, 24 East Sellers Ave at Ridley Park. Tell PJ that EOP sent you. Go to dolansbar.com or follow them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or even TikTok. We'll see you there for the game.
Thanks, Dice. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for your voiceover. But yeah, let's get right back into it. Again, Union welcome LAFC, another contender. Guys, how you feeling about this heavyweight matchup?
Gus, you want to start?
No, because I don't feel good. I told you.
Me neither.
Really?
I don't. I don't feel good about it. I don't think we're playing at the best of our ability. And going up against a team like LAFC, there's some concerns. They just got that the brand new toy they have up top. What's his name? Gonzalez. The kid they just grabbed in July. The forward from Braga, I think he was.
I believe that's right.
He's fairly new with the team. He's doing a lot better than Maribo is, right? I mean, he's been here a little longer, obviously, but I don't feel that good about it. If we're being completely honest with you, I don't feel that good about it, and it's solely because of us. It's not because of the team. It's not because of LAFC. I mean, Oliveira, Bunaga, they have good players, and even Carlos Vela still coming in and doing this thing, right? Not like before, but he's still doing his thing. There's nobody there that that, like Pat would like to say, scares me. I'm more afraid of ourselves, to be honest with you. That's what I'm afraid of, which is awful.
The last time we played LAFC, Dennis Boanga scored twice.
Yeah,
and he has been a consistent threat for them all season long. So I feel like if there's a group of players to watch, it's going to be him, Vela, maybe Ilie when he's in. Bogish is pretty decent. Ryan Hollingshead is a fairly solid player. He's been scoring a couple of goals recently. We also bear in mind
he has like 4 goals though, right?
Yeah, but I mean they're all fairly recent, and a few of them have been pretty solid efforts. So I mean for a right back, that's pretty good. I mean, and you also look at like the situation that LAFC is in right now. They're 1-1-3 in their last 5 matches. So 3 losses, a win and a draw, coming off of a 0-0 tie to St. Louis after winning El Clasico by a final of 4-0. So, they sort of flattened out a little bit, but they're still always a threat. They're 3rd in the West right now, so they're still a solid team. And like Muffler Mike was saying, this is personally, and I'm pretty sure for most, if not all, Union fans, this game had been circled on the calendar the second that the schedule was even released, before the season even started. So yeah, it is very possible that it could be what this team needs, but I don't know. This team out of nowhere has been kind of weird these past few weeks, though. It's kind of tough to really.
I don't know what I'm getting. I don't know if I'm getting the Philadelphia Union that that can come out and execute, or I'm getting a Philadelphia Union that just makes mistakes in the back and then gives up goals. I don't know what I'm getting.
Right, especially against LAFC with the caliber of team that they are this season, you don't want to have to chase because they're only going to make that deficit bigger as the game goes on.
Correct.
Yeah, and you're talking about Dennis Boanga. He is 3rd overall offensive player in the MLS. So again, 14 goals says a lot. So
And and before, if you would have told me that before, like towards the beginning of the season or even the middle, I would have hit you with, well, we have Elliott and Glesnes in the back. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Now I can't even give you that because they've been making mistakes. So I can't even say that.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like again, we had this kind of fears playing against Nashville, and we smashed Nashville. So I don't know. Like I feel like this is
But
this
that
is
right there, that goes to show you, like, I'm not scared. I don't have a fear of other teams. I have a fear of how we play. That's my fear.
oh
If I may,
he got Sub-Zero. Look at him.
Yeah, no.
all you had to do with Nashville was contain Mukhtar.
Right.
There's more threats
Oh right.
offensively for LAFC than there really, honestly, not trying to like hate on Nashville, but like they don't have as many offensive threats. You know what I mean? It's after Mukhtar, there isn't really that much behind them. So now you look at LAFC. If it's not Boanga, it's Vela. If it's not Vela, apparently recently it's been Ryan Hollingshead. So like, and then guys like I said, like Ilie and Bogish, like they have multiple solid options that can be decent enough threats that if you block off one, it's going to open up another. So I mean, you're going to have to you need to play with nothing but your best. If not, you're walking away with 2 total points for 3 crucial matches to start this final.
Yeah, and like I said, we like you said, Austin. So they got multiple weapons they can choose from. The Union are going to just have to figure this out. So,
they have the Philly killer John McCarthy probably playing in net. So,
yeah, again, it's
former
a tall
Union
order.
guy.
Again, and this is where I've alluded to. So, it's win or bust for me. You have to win this big. Again, to win this game. Or again,
I mean, what do you mean win or bust? I mean, we're in the playoffs.
We're in the playoffs,
I feel like if you don't start getting wins, you're gonna very easily be playing on the road for the playoffs for the most part at this point.
Yeah, because right now you would be facing against New England, and New England would have to run through here. But I mean, like to just go back to focusing on this game though. So, Gus, you're more concerned that you need to see something better from Jim. If anything you concerns you the most that needs to turn around, you are concerned about Jim Curtin's playbook that needs to turn around.
Like I said, I'm not sure if it's the playbook as much as the actual lineup.
Right.
Because I do feel like his playbook is fine, even though it's not an actual playbook, schemes. But I feel like his playbook is fine. It's more of who's executing the plays. That's what I want.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's going to be an interesting matchup. Again, the LAFC have become a pain in the Union side. Again, this is Philly versus LA. Big time matchup. I believe this is going to be Apple. And if you do have Apple people out there, I believe it will be free. So, free is for me. So again, it's going to be a big time matchup. I need to see somebody step up other than Carranza. Like someone other than Carranza needs to step up. And Gaza. Like you're going to need some players that you normally not known for the scoreboard that come through.
Well, we've seen that with. I mean, look at Bruchel's goal against Cincy was nasty, dude.
Yes, that's true.
Like we see that sometimes he doesn't get that chance, and when he does, he scores 1 out of how many, 10?
Right. So here goes Muffler Mike checking in. He goes, get a bit of ahead of yourself, but in the 27 years of MLS history, the finals losers has returned to the MLS finals the following year on the 6 occasions. So that's somewhat promising.
That is promising. It's not like there's definitely a better percentage than football and baseball. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I hear you, Mike, but again, I wish I like okay. It's so funny. This whole season to me has been parallel with the Phillies in every which way possible. the games, everything. Like they play good at the same time, they play bad at the same time. It's been powerful. Like I feel like both these teams has a gray area. Like the Phillies pitching has been the gray area. The Unions lack of scoring has been an issue. It's been inconsistent. I think that's what I think. If there's a gray area with this Union team, I think inconsistency is the major X factor here because you look really good most of the time. The summer you looked great, and then once that weather starts to change a little bit, you start, again things got a little softer.
We usually play well in the cold months. We're from Philadelphia. We usually play
Yes.
really well in the cold months, and so I mean I'm not really judging anything down to the weather. I think we're absolutely fine when it comes to actual weather. But what we lack is again it's consistency. I want to see what we're able to do on a consistent basis from now until we get into the playoffs.
Well, again,
that's going to determine if we're going to lose in the first round, or we're going to make sure that we win at home.
Right. Well, look, LAFC won. No, they had a draw yesterday with St. Louis. Now they continue to go on the road against us. Like I said, I was hoping that St. Louis was going to, rough them up a little bit, soften them up for us. But unfortunately, like you nailed it perfectly. We need to worry about the person in the mirror before we can worry about who wins and who loses. We got to control our destiny. And like, even though they clinch, it feels like not a good clinch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And honestly, with Martinez getting hurt again, I feel like that playoff clinching is more of a Pyrrhic victory than anything. Where like you lost Flock already. Martinez has been dealing with this lingering hamstring for the past fistful of weeks. I feel like Eric's saying, there really isn't a lot that you can point to with this team and say that that's what they. I mean, you can hopefully maybe lean on Blake, but aside from that, like there isn't really much in terms of, like Pat was saying, in terms of the consistency with this team. Like we've been struggling on the finish, like in ebbs and flows. The defense will struggle in ebbs and flows. The midfield sometimes just has those really weird games where there's that weird ebb and flow of like they're making bad plays and all of a sudden they'll get better and then dive down again. So,
and it's all small tweaks too. It's all like small whiffs that give the other team a chance. That's the most frustrating part about it. It's like it's one step of the ball that you didn't need, right? It's one extra pass that you shouldn't have taken. Because sometimes I feel like Gostek does this. I think he just passes to pass. Like where are you going with it?
Right.
There's 11 of you on the field. Not one person can help you out, and you got to give it back to the other team on midfield. Why? That's so frustrating to see, and it happens all the time.
I feel like one of your main keys to success for this game against LA with the way that they play, you just go back to the absolute basics in training. Get the team working on some of the standard fundamental style things with the way that your team plays, and then from there it's just execution. You know what I mean? Like, which again, it's the part that we're lacking right now is the execution of everything that has been taught. So you're dealing with a lot of the effort's there, but sometimes you're not seeing it as much. And I do really quick in regards to the Charlotte match. I want to give a ton of credit, not only to Carranza for helping the offense sort of battle back there late, but to Quinn Sullivan too, man. He made a lot of really good touches, a lot of really good runs, dropping into that open space to get that goal, finally getting one this year. And there's just, I don't know, dude. There's more questions than answers the further into this stretch run that we get. And we're not finding solutions to the ones that are already stacked up in the inbox at the moment. So we're going to get to a point where it's going to become an overload of questions for this team. And Eric, the main key to success, don't allow a late or stoppage time goal like MLS Cup or CCL semis. You really need to just settle down mentally and just get back to being able to just play your game. And if I hate having to say this now because of the fact that we just had 2 different games turn into
Oh,
ties. If you if you can get 1 point, I mean, getting 3 out of 9 isn't as bad as 2 out of 9, I guess. So I mean,
Dude, I want to win. I want to win, and I think we can.
That's the thing, is we need a win, but
Yeah.
with the way that they've played these last 2 games, can you confidently expect them to be able to? I mean, granted, playing at home is definitely a bigger advantage, but I don't think with the way that you've played the last 2 matches, I don't know if you do win this game.
Yeah. So
again, we'll see. We'll see what we get when the team comes out. We're gonna see it early. I feel like we're gonna take a look at what Jim puts out there to begin with. Or we'll even see it before the match even starts, just so we can know what to expect. I really hope that he takes a look at the actual lineup and puts out there what we need to win this game, because it's we need the 3. I don't want to tie. Like, we need the 3 points.
Yeah, I want to say, Gus, first of all, I totally agree. The fact that I think you said it perfectly in this season has been Jim Curran. The reason why they're losing is because of Jim Curran, and the reason why they're winning and having success is because of Jim Curran. So it's been a telltale of Jim Curran. But I do got to ask you guys before we roll out here, what is it about LA overall that we can't stand? We can't.
It was last year.
Oh, not just no. I'm not just talking about just overall 5 for 5. We cannot stand the Lakers. We can't stand the Rams. We can't stand the Kings. We can't stand any LA. What is it with LA? Their teams in Philly.
Let me just start with Austin. You can go after me. Okay. There's a couple different.
Oh wait,
different
3 out of
reasons.
9 is like kissing your sister, but I have no hope for a win. All right, we're getting a little weird here. We're getting a little weird. I like getting weird, but only on Tuesdays. But okay,
that's Pat's MO right there. Anyway, there's a couple of reasons. One, LA and Philadelphia are 2 very different cities. We're a little blue collar. They're a little the other way. They like the show. They like the lights. They like all that stuff. We're not. We just like hustle. We like to play hard. Give me some hustle. And the Philadelphia will love you. That you'll see it in plenty of times. And it doesn't even have to be great flashy players. You know how much love TJ McConnell got in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
I still don't understand why, but he hustled, and that's why. Right? That's why players like him were so loved in the city of Philadelphia. And LA, it just they're a bunch of prima donnas. That's absolutely right.
Plastic fans.
To this day, I'll say this right now, and I understand about the Lakers and all. Los Angeles does not have real fans. Like, they don't have real fans. And when you compare them to Philadelphia, it's not the same. Yeah, no, they're not real, dude. They're not real. They go for the show. They go because they're fun. Like, when you see all those stars in LA, they go because it's the thing to do. So they can tweet about it and I was here when this happened. That's why they go to these games. They don't go for the love of the game. They don't go for any of that. LA, no matter the team, even the Lakers. Maybe I'll exclude the Lakers from this because the Lakers have won for a long time. I'll exclude the Lakers on this, but no other LA team, and I'm including hockey, has real fans.
Yeah. And I got a part question for you, Austin. So Saturday, the Phillies got the Mets. The Union got LAFC. 2 teams we can't stand. Give me the one athlete overall in all 5 sports that you cannot see and stand. Like, we hate the Mets. We hate LAFC. So who is it? What team is it on you as a rival?
All of them. I hate them all. Single one of them.
Oh, he got right to the
juggler. The Mets suck. LAFC sucks. Get them out of my town.
I can't choose.
Yes, how about it?
They don't even beat it. They don't even get an Ogie.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. You went right for the juggler.
Yeah,
I really need to go straight.
What's up, Dan?
I'm so sorry for getting kind of primal there for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 player from each city, 5 for 5, you said?
Just give me one person in sports that irks your skin. I mean, because it's from the two.
I'm gonna stick to the theme of our side and with LA.
Yes, the theme.
Right now, honestly, because I think he signed with the Clippers, didn't he? Russell Westbrook.
That's a good one. That is a
Look. Immense
good
talent, but that man sometimes just says some. Pardon my language. He says some stupid fucking shit, bro.
one. No, he's got that.
He just starts shit with me like I understand like you're a very like dominant style player. Like you attack heavy, so like you get big on people, but like him trying to get big on Embiid, like Embiid was literally gonna like step on him like he was a roach, dude. Like get out of here.
He's a passionate guy. I don't mind Russ that much.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I love just the sheer athleticism, like the heavy throw down dunks with the hard stomp afterwards. Like that's the kind of player that I was when I played ball. But like he's one of those guys you hate him when he's not on your team. Like if we were to get Russ, I would be stoked about that because I love the way he plays. But every like I liked him when he was with the Thunder during like the early years of that franchise. I don't know, dude. I could technically say a guy who's currently a Sixer now who played for an LA team and Pat Beverly. Like that dude was a pest. Wayne Gretzky, I love and also hate Ante Kopitar. Like
I want to agree with you, Austin, so bad.
Cody
like
Bellinger.
Russell Westbrook has. Yeah, Russell Westbrook to me has that face. I just want to step on his shoe and use his face as a speed bag. Like he's just getting that annoyance. But anyway, yeah. But going back to the original question though, why I can't stand it, to me, I just feel like they're the rich. They're like you said, the movie stars. We're that grimy, bust out, blue collar city, and they're the shine life. If they wanted tomorrow's best player, they could spend the money just like that. I just feel like. I don't know. There's something about LA. It just grinds my gears.
The thing with that, though, I wouldn't trade that for the world.
Oh my gosh! Look at this list. So Eric's chiming in: Crosby, Castellanos, and NYC, Tony Romo, baseball every Met
ever, and then basketball every Celtic ever.
You know what? What was funny? Celtics. I hate the Celtics like the burning passion. The Knicks are right there with the Celtics for me. I don't know why they've always been. Always been, even though they haven't really been competitive the last 10 years, but they've always been there with the Celtics. Every time we go against the Knicks, I just want to demolish all of them. I don't have a one that comes to mind. All of the Mets, no matter what. Like Pete Alonso can go somewhere. All those guys, like I just.
Keith Hernandez.
I hate him all.
I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest. I'm sorry, Eric, but I'm with you in terms of Austin. If Crosby became a free agent tomorrow and went to put on that Flyers jersey, I think I'd be the first one out that door, rocking one. I gotta be honest.
You have fun with that, my dude.
No, see, so that's
I will be happy for the team, but I will not be happy myself.
That's a violation. You can be happy for the team, and I will welcome a good player because only a fool will tell you he's not a great player. I would welcome Crosby. I will not be rocking his shit. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
I
would welcome Crosby, but if I had the choice, I would choose Malkin over him.
I used to say the same thing about
for the longest time, and I stand by that.
Screw him too.
I used to, when Cole Hamels popped Harper, when Harper used to play for the Nationals, I used to have that same feeling. But guess what? The minute Harper came here, I immediately took the shirt off, got myself a Harper.
Here's the thing, though. Harper
dropped my drawers.
Harper didn't do it to us as long as they did.
Dude, Eric's comment, dude. Yes. One of the greatest hits in Philadelphia Flyer history, next to the game against the Russians. This was the biggest, one of the biggest hits in the history of the Flyers organization, dude.
Well,
that and the hit that kicked off Mike Richards' big shift, the two big hits and the shorthanded goal.
Look, we could do this all night long. But we do want to wrap it up here. But look, I want to say thanks, Eric, and everyone chimed in from YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. Listen, Saturday night, LAFC comes to Philadelphia. Our main Gus will be covering the game. So, guys, if you're down, you see him around, dressed like $1,000,000, go say hi to him, and so forth. But so for me, Austin, Gus, we are out of here.